Hey, welcome. Today we're going to talk about a huge shift that's happening right under our noses, a change in the very foundation of how the internet works. It's all about who gets to control our digital lives, our data, and, the future of AI itself. We're talking about a move from just renting our space online to actually owning it. So let's dive in.
And it all really boils down to this one simple question. When it comes to the future of AI, who's actually calling the shots? Is it a handful of massive corporations, or is it, us? The answer to that is going to define pretty much everything about the next era of technology. Because right now, let's be honest, the reality is pretty clear. A few incredibly powerful monopolies are the ones steering the ship. They're building the AI models, they own the massive data centers, and they are literally writing the rules of the game. And this concentration of power means they're building a future that serves their bottom line, not necessarily ours. And that brings us to the real problem here. These beautiful, super convenient, but ultimately restrictive walled gardens that big tech has built for us. You know them. They're easy to use, they're slick, but what's the real price we pay for living inside those walls?
This quote just hits the nail on the head. This isn't just about some friendly market competition. When a tiny number of companies control the core technology that's going to run our future, pretty much everyone else, that's you, me, developers, small businesses, whole communities, we all get locked out of the conversation about how it should be built and who it should really be for.
And this is the trap. It's called vendor lock-in. Think about it. We build our entire digital lives, our social connections, our businesses on these platforms, but we're basically just tenants. Our data, our content, our online identity, it's all being used to create enormous value that we never see a dime of. At the end of the day, we've given away control. Okay, so that's the problem. But what if we could build something else? What if we could design an internet where we, the users, are the actual owners? Now, this isn't some sci-fi fantasy. It's the real foundation of what's called the decentralized alternative. And this is the huge game-changing idea. We need to move from a web where our data is the product being sold to a web where our data is our property, period. A web where you are in complete control of your own digital identity, forever, no questions asked.
So how do we actually do that? Well, the first pillar of this new web is something called a decentralized identifier, or a DID. The easiest way to think about it is like a passport for the internet that you issue to yourself. It doesn't belong to Google or Facebook, it can't be taken away from you, and it goes with you wherever you go online. This is the absolute key to digital freedom.
Okay, so if a DID is your digital passport, you're going to need a place to keep your stuff, right? That's where decentralized web nodes, or DWNs, come in. A DWN is basically your own personal, super secure data locker on the internet. It's a private space where you can store anything and everything, messages, photos, work files, all encrypted and only accessible by you.
Now here's where it all clicks together. Using your DID, your passport, you can send a message or a file directly to someone else's secure DWN, their data locker. See, there's no central company server in the middle. No one's reading your messages, no middlemen. It's a direct, private, and totally secure way to interact, which, by the way, is a lot closer to what the internet was supposed to be in the first place.
All right, so the technology is there. This all sounds great in theory, right? But is this just a niche idea for tech idealists, or can it actually work in the real world? Well, the answer lies in this quiet economic revolution that's making this whole shift not just possible, but pretty much inevitable.
You know, while all the headlines have been about these giant AI models in the cloud, something else has been happening almost in secret. The actual economics of AI are completely flipping on their head. Thanks to much more efficient computer chips and smaller yet incredibly powerful AI models, running AI locally, like on your own devices or your own servers, is quickly becoming way cheaper, faster, and even more effective.
And this whole economic shift is being driven by a new way of measuring performance. It's a metric called intelligence per watt. And what it asks is simple. How much actual brainpower, how much quality are you getting for every dollar of electricity you spend? This one metric is changing the entire AI industry. And the results we're seeing are, they're insane. In just the last 2 years, the accuracy of these smaller local AI models has shot up by more than 3 times. They've gone from being kind of basic toys to being serious, powerful tools that businesses can rely on. So when that performance goes through the roof, you know what happens to the cost? It plummets. By using a smarter, hybrid approach, running the simple AI tasks locally and only sending the really tough stuff to the cloud, companies can slash their computing costs by almost 74%. That is a massive, massive number for any company's bottom line.
Let's make this concrete. Imagine a retail company with, say, 100 stores, and they're using cameras and AI to monitor stuff like product quality on the shelves. Now, the old way to do this was to send insane amounts of video data up to the cloud to be analyzed. The new way? You process that video right there, in the back of the store.
And just look at the difference in cost. It is night and day. The old cloud-based model cost them nearly $2 million a year. The new, local, decentralized model? $600,000. That's a savings of more than $1 million every single year. The economic argument here is just undeniable.
So let's step back for a second. What happens when you combine this unsustainable economic wave with these new technologies for digital ownership? What do you get? You get a fundamentally new internet. You get a future that you actually own.
And this quote captures the new mindset perfectly. You see, the old web was a zero-sum game. The platforms were all fighting to trap you inside their walls. But the new web, it's collaborative. It's about people and companies building on top of each other's work, creating value that everyone in the community gets to share. So if you take anything away from this, it's this. We are witnessing a massive shift from being tenants on the internet to becoming homeowners. And this isn't just some philosophical wish. It's being pushed forward by rock-solid economics and groundbreaking new technology. The power to truly own and control your digital life is no longer some distant dream. It's happening right now.
Which leaves us with one last big question. For the last couple of decades, we've built incredible things, but we've built them on someone else's land. But now, the deeds are starting to be handed over. So, if you had total control, total ownership of your own data and your digital identity, what would you build? What amazing new things would you create?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.